Yeah, it is kind of wacky around here. I'm looking around looking for David Zink, and it's, I don't know, maybe David Zink, the poor man's version of David Zink over here. Geoff Gorham sitting in on the Inland Sports Show, only on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. I'm Pep Fernandez, of course, world-famous intern Angel. Geoff Gorham, the head basketball coach for the Norte Vista boys team. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, not a problem.
It's good to see you again.
It's good to be here.
It's been a minute.
What have you been up to?
Well, you know, hanging out by my pool in the summer. Worked a couple basketball camps. Just kind of hanging out, not doing a whole lot, and resting up for the next year.
Well, we appreciate you joining us.
Not a problem.
And we've got a lot to get to. Because David Zink is at Auto Club Speedway doing the whole IndyCar thing. I've been out there once. And here's the good thing about IndyCar compared to NASCAR. NASCAR has all these restrictions, like you can't shoot video of this, you can't interview this person at this time, you can't do this. IndyCar's like, do whatever you want. You guys run the place. Any exposure we can get from the media is great exposure.
So Zink is probably sitting in a car, driving around, filming, talking to people.
They probably said you are the new, what do they call it, like the Grand Marshal, the guy in the pace car that's going to lead the field around the track. So
gonna sing the national anthem, Zink.
Oh man, they would be very desperate then if Zink's going to be singing the national anthem. It's the truth. Have you guys heard him sing?
No, thankfully.
For good reason, yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona. We appreciate their support. We had the Blitz this past week live from Adrenaline with a lot of good stuff going on there. The softball team's working out, basketball, soccer. They do a little bit of everything. So Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona, adrenalineathletic.com is the website. And Spoiled, quick quality oil change right here in Riverside. It's the summer. You don't want to mess around with your oil change. Angel, you're nodding. Get your car in there, please. Get your oil change.
You don't want to be
his car
roadside
or his bike or his skateboard.
His skateboard.
I pulled it in an 01 Tundra today.
I did notice that. It was giant.
Listen, we don't want you breaking down your way to USC. So go to Spoiled. Bill Navigado will treat you right. Quick, quality oil change. No hassle. They do it right the first time. All right, back here live on the Inland Sports Show, the one and only. Right here on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. In a couple minutes, we're going to talk high school football. A lot to get to. Checked out the Summit Skyhawks last night. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk little Halos, because Geoff Gorham over here is a big Angels fan.
Yes, I am.
So we're going to talk Angels. I'm going to put you to the test a little bit.
Ooh.
You say you're an Angels fan. Prove it.
Hey, I remember the Bobby Grich, Doug DeCince, Don Baylor days. Little Nolan Ryan.
Man.
You go way back.
Oh, yeah.
I met good old Bob Boone the other night.
You did?
Yeah.
Catcher.
At a 66ers game.
And his two sons were great players.
Yeah. Aaron and Brett, right?
Yeah, Aaron actually played basketball, I think, at El Medina High School as well.
Oh, really?
He was a pretty good basketball player.
You ever coach against him?
No, but I know Hatch actually was one of his coaches at one time.
Tim Hatch from Citrus Hill was... Wait, Aaron Boone, you said?
Yes, he was an Aaron. He coached Aaron Boone at some level. It was either JV or freshman. But who hasn't Tim coached? Tim's coached everybody, everywhere, at any given time. So
Aaron Boone still went on to have a great baseball career, despite what Tim Hatch might have done at the lower levels of basketball.
He definitely ruined it.
Almost derailed his career, but he
yes.
kept it on the right track and went on to baseball fame. But it was funny. I shared the story real quick about Bob Boone. I said, what have you been up to lately? Do you watch a lot of Angels baseball? Nah, I'm the assistant general manager for the Washington Nationals.
Wow.
He was nice about it, but obviously I did not do my homework.
Yeah.
Didn't know he was the Nationals assistant general manager. So.
They're left coast. They're.
I was like, Nationals, is that a major league team?
Yeah.
Is that an independent league? What is that? What do you guys do?
That's the Washington Strasburgs.
It is Strasburg. Actually, it's Scherzer, right? Scherzer's the guy now for the Washington Nationals. With that no-hitter, near-perfect game the other night. Quick shout-out as we start the show, because we love the shout-outs here on the Inland Sports Show. Going out to San Gorgonio football star Wesley Hill. Now, he committed to the University of Texas, El Paso, like last week, like it just happened. Nice. And, you know, once somebody wants something, everybody else kind of wants it also. You know, it's almost like with food or anything, like, oh, I think I'm going to eat that. Oh, I want that too. Well, he committed to UTEP, and then all of a sudden all these other teams come out of the woodwork. And Fresno State was one of them. So Wesley Hill, now a Fresno State Bulldog. In fact, he just left like Thursday night. It was that fast. Committed to UTEP, 1 week ago, flipped it to Fresno State, got on a bus, and he's already at Fresno State now.
Oh, Bulldogs.
So congrats. But the best thing is the Bulldogs want to play him at running back. That's what he wants to do. He wants to be the tailback. He wants to be the guy.
Were they going to move him at like a defensive position, you think?
Yeah, UTEP, they liked him as an athlete, which usually means like a secondary guy, probably a DB. So, but he's going to Fresno State to play running back. So congratulations to San Gorgonio's Wesley Hill. Now, UCLA football, as we stay on the football train here, they always have their training camp at Cal State San Bernardino, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
As we crank up the Bruin fight music here. Now picture this. You're out there minding your own business, checking out the Bruins at training camp, and there's Snoop Dogg and P. Diddy just hanging out watching their sons.
That's nice.
You go up, you ask for an autograph, you talk to them.
Nah, man.
What, do you think you're going to get punched in the face by P. Diddy, or why not?
You're going to get swung on by a kettlebell.
Now, Geoff Gorham, you're a coach.
Yes.
You're a coach, so you...
Sometimes, yes, but...
So everyone knows the story now that P. Diddy attacked this assistant coach for UCLA. They said there was a kettlebell involved. His son plays for UCLA. I guess apparently he was kicked out of practice or not giving 100%. The effort wasn't there. P. Diddy got all mad.
Oh, man.
How do you deal with parents like that? This sense of entitlement.
Well, you know, at the high school level, if a parent comes into our practices are closed. So if a parent wants to come to practice, I let them come in one time. And when they do, I usually send the kid, when the parent's watching, I'll send the kid over to stand next to the parent. And we'll continue to practice while that young man will stand next to the parent. About 15 minutes later, the parent will usually walk up to me and go, "Hey, why is little Johnny not practicing?" And I'll pull the parent aside and I'll say, "Hey, I don't go to your job and look over your shoulder when you're typing in numbers or doing whatever you do. So while I'm coaching here, this is a closed practice. So you need to go outside and watch your kids during the game." So I make sure the practices are closed.
I think that's the right way to do it.
That's some
It is.
wisdom.
Yeah, but it knocks out the problem real quick. And parents usually respect that idea because you don't want to go look over their shoulder while they're working. So I expect the same in return.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense to
Exactly.
me. And I don't know if P. Diddy's son will stay at UCLA or what's going to unfold, but it is interesting to think that Snoop Dogg's son's there. P. Diddy's son's been there for a couple years. I had no idea. I mean, he's not like a star player, a guy who has seen a lot of action.
And, you know, he's a grown man. Why is P. Dummy, and I'm going to call him out, he's...
Yeah, P. Dummy.
I hope he doesn't listen.
He does. He listens every week.
Bring it on, P. Diddy. P. Dummy. You know, as a parent, you know, I'm a parent myself. I'm going to let my son, when he's of age to be an adult, if there's an issue where, you know, supposedly he's being bullied by Coach Alosi, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
Then if it's that bad, the man, his son, can go above and talk to the administration, talk to the head coach. Why is your helicopter parent hovering over the program when he's a 21, 22-year-old man? So, P. Dummy, whatever. If you get arrested and you get sent to jail, which you won't because he's wealthy and he's gonna somehow, he's like Teflon, I'm sure. He's been accused of other things.
Yeah.
He just needs to go away for a while and just step away and let the young man be a grown-up.
Well, he just swoops in and automatically thinks, well, it's not my son. There's obviously a problem with the football team. My son's not the problem.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's giving 100% and going hard on every play and doing what the coaches ask. I'm sure he's doing that.
That's what every parent says. But, you know, it's silly. And I think you brought up a story about the first time you met Neuheisel.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, he's taking his son on a tour around campus, and Neuheisel is taking P. Dummy and his son, and they're walking around campus, and Diddy says to the man, "Hey, Rick, so what do you do on campus here?" And Rick Neuheisel, I believe, said, "Hey, I'm the head football coach here." So if you don't even know where your son is, who he's playing for, and what he's doing there, maybe you should just stay out of it and just continue to rap or whatever he does. Or steal music from people.
Entrepreneur or something.
Yes.
Dude, he
Make vodka.
There's a couple people I just wish would go away. He's one of them, Kanye West. If they could just go away and not come back, I'd be perfectly happy.
I mean, they're famous for doing absolutely nothing, which, you know, guys that work hard. You know, I have kids that I teach that, you know, 4.8 students going to Harvard and so forth, but you're never going to hear anything from them because they're not in the public eye. You know, Kanye West, these other yahoos, just mind your own business. Do what you do, and that's it.
Didn't he have that song, Bad Boy for Life? Bump, 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 bump,
He did, yes, he did.
Bad Boy for Life. Man. I I don't even like that song, but
I'm not a
But
big
it's
rap
appropriate,
fan.
I guess.
It is pretty.
you're not a rap fan?
I'm not. I don't know anything about rap.
What is your music?
I'm more into like Steve Miller, old school.
Like
70s.
classic rock?
Yeah,
Is that-
classic rock, but I'm a big Michael Jackson fanatic. So
Are you really?
Oh, I love Michael Jackson. Anything Michael Jackson.
What's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
My number one song of all time is Billie Jean.
Can you sing?
No, I can't sing a lick. But my other favorite song, my number
dodged
two,
that real fast.
Yes, I did. There's no way in the heck I'm singing. But
Oh, yeah, Greg. Good job, brother.
The headphones on. Give him the headphones.
there's no way. Wait.
Here we go.
All right, jump in whenever you want, Jeff. This is your jam, so just jump in whenever you feel it.
I'm feeling it.
He's head bobbing right now. He's swaying back and forth.
Oh, this is great music right here.
Oh man, he's the first karaoke we've ever done.
Have we done karaoke live on the air?
No, we have.
More like a beauty queen of a movie scene. I said, "Your mind, what do you mean? I am the one." Okay, that's not. There you go.
No! Hey, come on, round of applause for
That was
Geoff
good
Gorham.
enough.
That's a guts. This is live and amplified all over the world. And of course, all over the Inland Empire here
All
on Fox
over.
Sports Radio.
Yes, and don't ever make me sing again. Yeah, there you go.
Well, let's wrap up our football conversation here as we move on from UCLA. As we quickly get out of the Billie Jean here.
Great song. Okay,
sorry,
there you go.
Sorry, Geoff Gorham.
That's all right.
There we go.
I went out to the Summit High School passing tournament last night. Football in full
Passing
swing.
league.
I know you guys are doing the summer basketball thing.
It's all over the place.
We're talking about
Football's in
passing
full
league.
swing.
Passing league? That's like practice? Come on.
I know some coaches say develops bad habits. It's not real football.
It's team building.
But
is what it is.
yes, thank
It's
you.
team building.
And it's fun.
Yes,
It's
yes.
fun.
Yep.
You just like to air the ball out.
Yep.
You let your athletes go make plays. It makes for good video.
Yeah, and it's team camaraderie. That's all it is, really. As far as basketball, same thing. We took our kids up to Big Bear. We sat around, made s'mores. I guess that's it. And played 5 basketball games. It was fun. It was great team building, but I didn't take the games too seriously.
So you went all the way up to Big Bear to make s'mores, and a basketball game just broke out. And
This basketball game broke out. We played. Who did we play? We played Big Bear. We played some Antelope Valley teams that we don't normally see, which was great.
On the blacktop.
On the flag.
on the blacktop, yeah.
Squirrels running across. The kids go squirrel. So we're looking at everything, squirrel.
All right, hey, real quick, I want to hear from Summit quarterback Cade Sparks. He's a big, tall receiver, almost like Peyton Manning-like. And he's set for a big season with the Summit Skyhawks. I had a chance to catch up with him. And Summit's got a really good team. I mean, they've got a bunch of D1 guys on the Skyhawks this year, so they're expecting some big things. But here's their quarterback, Cade Sparks, talking about 7-on-7, but also the upcoming season for Summit High School.
I thought we executed well. Coach was saying how when we step up to make plays and when times need to be made, we made some plays that weren't expected. We had unexpected guys come out and do what they needed to do. So that was a good part about today.
Was there any part of knocking off some rust, because I guess you'd been making an East Coast trip and looking at schools and rejoining the team here, right?
Really I came back and I felt like I didn't miss a day. Came back, loved being here, loved the school, really missed it, but came back, gotta come back to work.
Makes your life a little easier when you've got targets like Damian Alloway, right?
Oh, absolutely. Damian Alloway, Stephen Carr.
Like that,
absolutely.
Yeah. So what's it like having guys like that and just trying to get the ball in their hands, right? Let them make plays?
It's nice because you got guys like Steve, you can throw a little swing route, and he turns it into a touchdown. You got Damian who's so fast, no one can cover him. So it's a good concept to have with those two guys, having D1 athletes on your team.
And 4 games in the book. What was your guys' record through those 4?
3-1.
3-1. So what did you like and what do you want to improve on before tomorrow?
I like the fact that we, in times that were good, we were being good. Times that are bad, we were keeping quiet. We weren't getting down on ourselves. That's something that's very important for us to win. What I didn't like is when we got to step up and make plays, we got to do it. When we got to gamble, money's on the line. We got to come through and step up. Big players make big plays in big time games. So that's what we got to come out and do tomorrow.
Quote here.
I think he did say that big time players make big time plays in big time games.
That's the motto around here.
He's already well spoken. He's got the whole interview thing down. Reminds me of Peyton Manning. I'm just going to say it. I know it's a lofty expectation to reach to, but he reminds me of Peyton Manning. Well, if he likes Papa John's and Summit, Skyhawks are really good. So anyways, that was Cade Sparks, quarterback for Summit High School. Exclusive interview here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. When we come back, we're going to talk Halos baseball.
With the master.
With the master over here, Geoff Gorham.
Hey, I'm old school. I'm talking Are we going to mention Carney Lansford?
Carney Lansford?
Look at that.
I
I'm
remember
going
him
old
from the
school.
A's days.
Yeah.
We're going to talk Halos. We're going to talk Adam Kennedy. We're expecting a call from Jade Gortaras, pitcher for the women's national baseball team, getting ready for the Pan Am Games. More high school football. Might even sneak some Lakers talk in there. I want to get your thoughts on the Lakers.
Lakers.
That's all coming up on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
Welcome back to the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. I'm Pep Fernandez, joined by Geoff Gorham, the head boys basketball coach at Norte Vista High School, and world-famous intern Angel. Show brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona and Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change in Riverside. I want to give a shout-out, because we love the shout-outs.
Oh, yeah.
This one going to the pride of Yucaipa High School, Taijuan Walker, making his first career start against Gorham's Angels last night. First time he's ever faced the Angels. How about the stat line? 7 innings, 6 strikeouts, gave up just 1 run. That was a bomb to Mike Trout, but just the 1 run.
Kingfish.
And Seattle beat the Halos 3-1, and Taijuan Walker has won 4 straight straight games. He's now 6-6 overall on the season. So a shout out to Taijuan Walker, the pride of Yucaipa, shutting down your Halos, Geoff Gorham.
Do you like the Halos?
They're just flirting with 500. They just, they're just hanging around, right?
They are reveling in mediocrity. Reveling in it.
Well, I want to go back, hit the rewind button just a little bit to the Carolina versus California League All-Star game from the Epicenter, Rancho Cucamonga, Lone Mart Field. And Adam Kennedy and Sean Green, remember Sean Green, big-time Dodgers? Yeah, they were the honorary captains for the Home Run Derby contest. Awesome. Now, Sean Green had a season where he hit, like 47, 49 homers? I mean, he had it was a Dodgers record, yeah. Adam Kennedy, not necessarily a big home run guy, right?
No, he was a singles hitter.
He's a North Husky, though.
He is a Husky.
But that's why we love him, right, Angel? Because he's a North Husky, and so are you. Some people say that you and him are the two biggest names that come out of North High School.
It's arguable, yeah.
That's why they call him world famous.
World famous Angel.
World famous intern Angel. But we had a quick little interview with Adam Kennedy because his guy from the Carolina League won the Home Run Derby contest. So obviously Adam Kennedy really laid the groundwork for his guy to hit the long ball because chicks dig the long ball. And Adam Kennedy...
The chicks didn't dig Adam Kennedy because he couldn't hit the long ball.
No, well, we're going to get to that after this soundbite. But here's Adam Kennedy talking about the Home Run Derby contest and his guy, Nelly Rodriguez, all the way from Nellyville. Oh, yeah.
Nelly.
He won the contest. Here's the great Adam Kennedy from JW North High School.
So, Adam, what's it like being back in Dodger Town, just being part of the festivities here,
Oh, it's a great event.
Adam, what's it like being back in Dodger Town, just being part of the festivities here?
It's a great event. The kids are energetic and enthusiastic and talented. So it's been a fun event. Good to see these guys have a little fun and they sort of show their hard work's paid off so far halfway through the year. And hopefully, they continue on to have a great year and moving on up the ladder.
Do you give much advice or tips when they step up to the plate in this derby?
No. They're a little bit more talented than me as far as that goes. So I could probably learn a few things from them.
But Adam Kennedy not known for hitting home runs.
He has a long ball when it matters, too. In that World Series.
He had three home runs in the ALCS, right?
He and the other little guy, Eckstein, remember that?
Oh, yeah. Scrappy little guy.
Yeah. That was their infield right there.
Man, you know your Angels, Geoff Gorham.
Yeah, I know my old school Angels. I'm a little disappointed this year, but I do love Socha. I'm going to stick with Socha to the end, which could be pretty soon. But
you think so?
I hate to think that they would get rid of him. I mean, who else could they bring in?
That's the thing. When you let a coach go, you got to have somebody in waiting, right? Like, if there's a better option out there, but who's the better option?
Well, Bud Black is out there. Bud Black's he's a former Angel guy.
P. Diddy's out there.
P. Diddy can go.
He can do everything else.
He's a helicopter guy. I'm sure he's hanging around.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, let's see how well you know the Angels and Adam Kennedy.
Here we go.
So, pep quiz time. Greg, you late? Go ahead and crank up the pep quiz. You heard it right, Angel. Come on. Here's the game show music because self-proclaimed Angels expert Geoff Gorham putting you on the spot here. Adam Kennedy, okay?
Yes.
Your boy.
Yes.
From the Angels.
Yes.
What was his career high in home runs, would you say, in a single season?
This is multiple choice. I'm going to say...
No, with an expert like yourself.
11.
I'm looking for 13.
Well, that's pretty close.
You were close.
Hey, ballpark within 5, I'd have to say is pretty good.
A career high 13 in 2003. Adam Kennedy, maybe best known for his days with the Halos, right?
Yes.
But can you name the other teams that Adam Kennedy also played for in the major leagues? At world famous intern Angel, you can chime in here if you know. I'm looking to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams.
Ooh, 6. I can get 2 offhand. I know he finished with the Dodgers, I believe.
Okay, you got the Dodgers.
I'm gonna say he probably
won the Angels, right? So I mean, there's 2.
Maybe Colorado.
No. Right?
What? Mariners?
Well, he's pretty good. See, he is a North guy.
Yeah.
I couldn't fathom to say. I would say American League teams.
Did you say Oakland?
I did not, but yes, I did.
There's
Oakland. There we go.
Did you say?
I said Oakland. Come on.
Did I hear Washington?
I did say. Yes,
Washington.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
and this other team, I didn't know this, but he actually played for them twice. He
Twice.
played for them, then went back to them.
Which was?
The Cardinal Way, St. Louis.
Oh, I did know he played for the Cardinals. Yes, I do remember that.
Oh, now that I say it
Now I'm
here.
thinking about it, I do remember a stint with the Cardinals.
That's right. So, shout out to Adam Kennedy, man, out of JW North High
Hey,
School.
but his dad, though, I think was a great North guy as well.
Yeah, longtime baseball coach at North
awesome
High School.
guy. Awesome.
So I just wanted to see how well you really knew
I do know.
Angels.
Hey, let's go back old school. Said Nolan Ryan, Don Baylor, Bobby Grich, Doug DeCince,
Wally Joyner, right?
Donnie Moore.
Yeah.
Oh, deep fried, but great teams. Rod Carew. Wally Joyner, he was awesome.
He was.
BYU guy.
A little after Wally Joyner, JT Snow.
JT Snow.
Were you a JT Snow guy?
Yep. JT Snow, Dad Jack Snow, great Ram.
Let me guess, you liked Mo Vaughn, didn't
No,
you?
I did not like Mo Vaughn.
Why?
I don't. He's an East Coast guy. I like my Angels to be Angels. Reggie Jackson. I liked Reggie. Reggie was okay. They did. Vladimir Guerrero.
Vlad.
Torrey Hunter.
It's like a walk down memory lane over
It is,
here.
I'm telling you. Ron Jackson. Ron Jackson was another great Angel.
No.
Yeah.
Who's
great.
Ron?
Ron Jackson played in the 80s. He was a right fielder. I shouldn't say much. But great player for the Angels back in the 80s when they had Doug DeCince and all those guys, Bobby Grich. Great teams.
I'm gonna have to believe you on that one.
I'm telling you, I met him at a car dealership here in Riverside years ago, and he signed my baseball. I also had a couple Angels. It was like Tommy John signed my baseball, Jerry Royce. I had all kinds of autographs as a kid. But yeah, I remember Ron Jackson.
Did you play baseball? Like,
I did.
Did you ever want to coach, or because you went the basketball route, obviously.
I coached. Believe it or not, I coached 1 year at La Sierra. I coached JV boys baseball. And
What was your record? I'm just curious.
I was slim and none. I think we won a few games.
How many ejections did you have?
I had none, believe it or not. But I did get to eat a lot of sunflower seeds and Sour Patch Kids that the kids would give me. But I played baseball. I played first base my first 2 years in high school, and then played Catholic Little League here in Riverside for years. So.
Would the kids give you sunflower seeds to go to the lineup?
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, if they gave me anything, they were in the lineup. It was JV baseball.
I've got some milk duds that say I hit third in the lineup.
There you go. Cherry sours, those were always the winner. If you had running
man.
cherry sours, you were lead off. Man, I'm telling you, I had fun. I've coached pretty much. I coached softball for years. So.
Did you really?
I did. I coached at.
See, we're learning new things here.
Sorry, I wasn't very knowledgeable. They just said that's one of those things where they go, "Hey, coach, we need somebody to fill in this season. Can you do it?" And I said, "Sure, I can hit ground balls and throw a little BP. We're fine." But I wasn't very successful.
We're talking with Geoff Gorham here, Norta Vista boys basketball coach, world-famous intern angel on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. If we can backtrack to the high school football chatter for just a second. So, and this kind of eludes into our baseball or our basketball talk that we're going to go into. Riley Curry, remember Riley Curry, little girl for Steph Curry and all those press conferences? We're going to get in that in just a second. So I interviewed Nick Matheny. He's the head football coach at Summit High School.
Yeah.
He's got a cute little son, 3 years old, and he comes over and I'm interviewing Dad, and he picks up his son, and the son's like messing with the microphone and stuff. So we're gonna play the interview from Nick. But if you can picture this in your head, or if you're watching live and amplified all over the world on the Inland Sports YouTube channel, you can see it. But Nick Matheny's holding his son here, so we're gonna listen to Nick, and then we're gonna talk about Dad holding his son and the whole Riley Curry thing, and get your thoughts, Jeff. I know you probably have a take on this, right?
I think it's great.
All right, here's Summit head football coach Nick Matheny. Then we'll get his thoughts on Riley Curry and maybe who played it better, because I think Nick Matheny's son might have won this one.
Nice.
So let's hear from Coach Matheny.
What did you like through the first 4 games here? What did you like through the first 4 games here?
The thing, these passing leads can get a few things that aren't really what we're going to do in a game, and those things I didn't care for. But what I really liked is that we just played aggressive and we played hard and fast, and those are the things that you kind of look out for here. You're trying to get the competition more so than anything. We can do this at practice, but when you do play with teams and stuff like that, it kind of brings a competition aspect out of it. So that's what we're looking for when we come to these things.
Is he trying to show up Riley Curry here? Or?
I don't know. Say hi.
So that was Nick Matheny, head football coach at Summit High School, and his adorable little son, 3 years old. I'm totally cool with that when a coach wants to bring their son or daughter, hold them while they're doing the interview.
Yeah.
Have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Riley Curry was all over the place, right, during the NBA playoffs. And
Adorable.
what's crazy is it sparked this huge debate, as in, they're not allowed in the press setting. Like, media has a job to do.
Yeah, people need to just lighten up. Just lighten up.
Seriously, right?
It's fun. I mean, I try to include both my boys. I have a 9-year-old and a 2-year-old. They're always around. I tried to put my 9-year-old in the game 2 weeks ago versus Rubidoux, and he started to cry. He was like, "No, Dad, don't put me in." But I had him at the table. The coaches were all happy to let him play. But no, it's if you think about sports, it's just a game.
Yes,
it's just a game. Include your family, include the people you love, include the fans, and that's really all it is. It shouldn't be this. So everybody's so sensitive and high strung these days. Just enjoy it. It's just a game.
It's like half the media take themselves so seriously, like, oh, we've got a job to do, we've got deadlines, and I get that. I mean, I've been there. I get it. At the same time, dude, come on.
Yep. And you look
seriously.
You look at the mothership. Everybody has their own show. Everybody has their own take. Whether or not they believe their own takes, you watch some of those shows and you go, do you really believe the stuff you're saying? And let's just be honest. It's a guy in the peak moment of his career. With his daughter. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing.
And the thing you got to think about, too, I mean, these professional athletes are going 40, 50 nights a year.
Yeah.
They got to cherish the time they have with their family.
That's another good point, Angel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Look at you, Angel Intern. World famous.
World famous. I told you, man.
Famous, man.
See, we groomed him up, get him ready for USC. He's going to go on to do big things, then we'll all work for him one day.
He's
I got you guys.
He's ready to fly, Pep. He's ready to fly.
Crank up the fight music. They make a big deal. All these big football recruits going to USC. I mean, they should talk about.
This is the biggest recruit we've had in the last 20 years.
He's gonna put USC on the map.
I've seen the edits they sent me in the mail.
Yeah, there you go.
He's gonna be on the what is it, the Hall of Fame thing? It's gonna be.
Heritage Hall.
His Heritage Hall is gonna say Charles White, Renthal James. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it's past the OJ.
Yeah, and Angel the intern. That's what it's.
Yeah,
That's all.
world famous intern Angel.
World famous.
I tell these guys, I'm going to be the first Heisman long snapper.
It could happen. I mean, that's what we're really building.
I saw him in a parking lot snapping balls before he got out of here. He was snapping, and he was hitting cars. He was like 40 feet away and drilling them.
He's got great aim.
He said, "Hey, coach," as I'm driving by, "Coach, open your window."
Yeah.
I'm long snapping in your window.
You see like those trick long snappers, like you go on YouTube and they make these crazy. Oh my gosh, I get lost on YouTube finding those kind of things. That could be you, intern Angel.
Could be, but I'm spending my time here.
Down the hallways, he's snapping balls to everybody. Don't be fooled. There's balls being snapped all over the place.
You gotta always keep your head on a swivel with intern Angel.
My holder has nightmares.
That's right. You don't even need a holder. Listen, you're listening to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. World-famous intern Angel, Geoff Gorham, the head basketball coach at Norta Vista, and I'm Pep Fernandez. Greg Gillette running the board. David Zink, supposed to call us live and amplified from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, where the IndyCar race is taking place this afternoon. I think at 1 o'clock they dropped that flag to start that race.
He's not going to be able to call in. He's not even going to be able to hear himself
Could be loud. It could be really loud at the
He's going to
track.
be suffering from tinnitus. The guy's going to be he's going to be deaf.
Well, he's supposed to call. And we'll see what happens.
He'll be screaming, "Hey, Pep, how are you doing today?"
Super loyalty is.
What's that?
See where his loyalty is.
We'll see. We're going to find out in a little bit. So.
Formula One racing.
Hey, I want to ask you about the Lakers. And I should say this. The Lakers are playing the Toronto Raptors October 8th at Citizens Business Bank Arena in Ontario. Could be the last time to see Kobe in our own backyard right here in the IE.
That is true.
First opportunity to see the newest draft pick, D'Angelo Russell. With the number 2 pick, do you feel like they got what they should have? Or a lot of people were split, like they should have went big, but it's a guard league now, isn't it?
Well, I think for what they chose correctly, in the sense that they were talking about trading for Cousins. If you trade for Cousins, you're losing Randall, the number 2 pick, and then you're going to swallow $16, $17, and $18 million in 3 years straight. This way, you're signing a guy, a proven point guard or a 2 guard, depending on where they fit him in. and they're going to say, he's $5 million a year, I think it is, for 3 years.
Yeah.
You're going to save yourself some money to go out there and get a free agent this year, and then the following year, with the money off the books with Kobe, anybody's going to want to come play in Los Angeles. And I do think for them to sign a guard like they did, there has to be something coming down the pipeline. If you're a Laker fan and you don't get somebody else, then it's going to fall squarely on Bus.
Yeah.
But I do think that either Aldridge or Love will probably become a Laker.
Well, I was going to ask you, why is every single guy who's going to be a free agent linked to the Lakers? Every single name out there, and I'm thinking, okay, guys, there's only so many spots on that roster. Why is every single guy out there saying, oh, well, he's interested in the Lakers, or he might go to the Lakers?
Look around the Lakers.
Yeah,
Kevin Durant to the Lakers after next season. I mean, everybody.
Well, I think it's just the allure of being living in Los Angeles, hanging out among the stars, and you're going to get the revenue, the money outside of basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Blake Griffin's. Look at him, all the money he makes.
He's on video game commercials and Kia and all
he's
sorts
all over
of
the
stuff.
place.
Yeah.
But to be a Laker, I think it's 16 championships, the royalty of just being on the wall and being a part of that organization. I don't think the organization is tarnished as much, but losing Jerry Buss really hurt the brand, I should say.
Yeah.
But they'll be okay. I mean, somebody's going to come back to play for the Lakers.
I'm looking in the hallway here at Fox Sports Radio. We got a picture of Kobe holding up his 24.
Yes.
Yep.
Which disturbs me every time I walk down the hallway as a Sacramento Kings fan. It's just hideous. But anyways, he's got 1 year left, right?
Yep.
Yep.
You want him back, right?
Want him back there.
But are you delaying the rebuilding process the longer you keep him around, or can you win with Kobe and a bunch of young guys?
No, I think you can win because you're gonna. I do firmly believe they're going to get a big name. I do think it'll be Aldridge or Love, and I'm going to throw it out there. And I think you have Clarkson, who's a serviceable guard, and Kobe.
So Kobe would play the 3.
Kobe would play the 3, and I think if they had a good big guy, it would draw a lot of double teams to the post, which would have helped Kobe because he is a great jump shooter, and he's not as athletic as he once was, but he can still shoot the ball. So I think that could hurt him if we don't get a big guy or a stretch 4.
Yeah.
I think Aldridge would be great just because he stretches the floor so much, and he demands a double team, which will help Kobe. But
So let me, if I'm wrong, correct me, but your Lakers starting 5 for next season would be Clarkson, Russell in the backcourt, right?
Yes.
Kobe at the 3.
Randall
at the 4, and then
don't even say it. There's
Aldridge or Love.
Oh yeah,
5 or
4. I think that's,
right?
That would be great. If we had one of those guys, it'd be great. I just don't want to include. I don't ever want to say his name, Sacre or Jordan Hill,
Ed Davis.
Davis. Tariq Black is a serviceable off-the-bench guy.
Are you a Nick Young guy? Are you Swaggy P?
I'm a Swaggy P guy if he comes up and plays select minutes. But I don't see him being in the starting lineup. If we had a guy like Jamal Crawford, who the Clippers have, I think is a great.
Comes off the bench, automatic points, right?
And I like a guy like that. I think it's hard for me to say Swaggy P, but I think he's a serviceable.
Wait, you won't say Swaggy P, but you'll say P Dummy.
P Dummy, because I have a little more respect for the Laker name. But no, I just think you can almost get rid of anybody except their core guys and bring in. Heck, I wouldn't mind a Paul Pierce if he's willing to come out.
Yeah. I mean, he's opted out of Washington.
And honestly, I think he'll be a Clipper because I do think that he will help Stevenson as well. He'll maybe mature him a little bit, and he can play spot minutes when he's not playing real well. But the Lakers, they get rid of everybody, bring in Love, Aldridge. They'll be fine.
Get rid of everybody.
But you understand, 2 years they're going to get the salary cap increases, $20 million. It
does, yeah.
So I think they're going to sign somebody for 2 years, and then it's just going to change. The whole game's going to change.
Yep.
You'll have more super teams in the next 2 years, like you saw in Miami, you see in Cleveland.
These superstars cluster together and go to one team. And
I do think once Kobe leaves, guys are going to want to come out here. I think that's been the knock on Kobe is that he's hard to play with, but the guy works harder than any player in NBA history.
Are you a lifelong Laker fan?
Lifelong Laker.
Okay.
Love the Lakers.
Oh, yeah.
My son, my
I just want to see where your head's at, where you're coming from.
My son talks Clipper Nation nonstop.
Yeah.
The worst new logo in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible. But no, I'm a Laker fan, true and true. It pained me to turn on the Laker games this year and look at the starting five and not know one guy out
Who
there.
is that guy?
Yeah, I'm like, these guys are all D-League rejects, and it hurts, but I'm still going to be a Laker fan, true and true.
As a big-time Kings fan, happy to keep DMC in Sacramento.
You can keep Boogie.
Listen, you know what? We're doing what the Spurs did. We're doing Twin Towers. Remember that David Robinson and Tim Duncan?
Yeah.
Willie Cauley-Stein and DMC at the 5 and the 4.
Now he'll be able to roam the floor a little more instead of just being limited to just post work.
Because Willie Cauley-Stein's a D guy. Like, he's going to play defense for you.
Yeah, and it will alleviate, I should say, a little bit of the workload off of Cousins.
You guys
We're
know
gonna-
this George Karl before you ever coaches.
Dude, you know what? I never thought the Kings would be like the center of the NBA universe for about a week. Everyone was talking about DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
Are they going to fire George Karl? Are they going to make some trades? I mean,
They
it was craziness.
They almost had like 3 coaches in 2 weeks.
Oh, my gosh. Are you available? Could you go up there?
If they could run my system, I would love it.
Run and gun.
Yeah, run and gun.
I mean, the
I'm telling
owner
you.
wants the cherry pick. Would you cherry pick?
I'd send the guy on a shot every single
Yeah.
time. Go 2 men, run down the floor. We're going to get the shot.
That's Geoff Gorham, head basketball coach at Norte Vista, world-famous intern angel. Greg Ulate, I'm Pep Fernandez. We got one more segment coming up. When we come back, we're going to talk a little high school basketball. Fingers crossed, David Zink live and amplified from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. Once again, you're listening to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
Sports Show with Pep Fernandez on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM.
Gotta finish up strong. You guys ever see that? I think it was a Jimmy Fallon sketch on SNL. He'd always say, "And we're back." You guys remember that?
I remember that.
Whenever we come out of the segment, that's what I want to do.
You got to do it.
Man, that's my instinct. It's like, man, we're back. We're back here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. I'm Pep Fernandez. World famous intern angel, Geoff Gorham, the head boys basketball coach at Norte Vista High School. And, of course, Greg Ulate. Hope you're listening here on Fox Sports or watching us live and amplified all over the world on the Inland Sports YouTube channel, which is brand new because I blew the other one up. Like, I literally blew it up. I detonated it, it just went up in flames and gone forever.
It's so hard to make those stuff up.
It's like I put in a time capsule and shot it out into space, and it's just
Never
gone.
coming back.
Went through a black hole in some other galaxy right now. And then there could be another alien race right now finding my YouTube channel, and that's all they have to know of our planet.
They're all saying, "Oh, hail Pep."
Yeah, Pep Fernandez, he must be the world leader.
Yeah.
He's on everything.
We got to go to that place. We got to go to the Inland Empire.
Making a whole documentary series.
Oh yeah, there's some sort of a legend in their world right now.
You made contact.
So if you find my YouTube channel, I'd love to have it back. But right now,
I'll look around.
It's out there.
I'll
It's
look
out there in space, man. All right. Listen, you're well connected. You network with everybody. You know a lot of coaches. One of them, Steve Fisher.
Yes.
Now, listen, I was a big Michigan basketball guy when Chris Webber came up, and then Chris Webber went to the Sacramento Kings back in the day, and that was like a match made in heaven for me because I was a huge C. Webb fan in the beginning. But Steve Fisher won with, who was it? It was Ramil Robinson, wasn't it? And Glenn Rice?
Glenn Rice, Ramil Robinson, yeah.
Yeah, so Steve Fisher, now at San Diego State.
Yep.
You know him. I mean, you can pick up your phone and call him, right?
I
right
can.
now.
I've worked with Coach Fisher for the last 14 years since he's been at San Diego State. I've been a director at his camp along with Tim Hatch for the last 14
Unfortunate,
years.
but okay.
Yeah, unfortunately. Fisher had 17 NBA players at Michigan. He's had 6 with the Aztecs since his stint there the last 15 years. Good friend. He's been really, really kind to the Inland Empire basketball scene, with guys like Marcus Slaughter of JW North and Kawhi Leonard of King High School.
Now, can I give you credit for really identifying and spotting Kawhi Leonard and saying, listen, Coach Fisher, I've got a guy up here.
Yeah, I will say this. When I was coaching La Sierra, we were in the same league with King, and I'll be honest with you, he was not their first guy on the team. He wasn't their first go-to guy. First go-to guy was a guy named Carlin Brown, who played at the University of Utah, was the Pac-12 Player of the Year. They had Eric Wise, who played at UC Irvine and played at USC.
Yeah.
I mean, they had Tony Snell, who was playing for the Chicago Bulls.
That was a great run for King, right?
Oh,
so many great players coming through.
I want to say some of the best high school basketball I've ever seen. And playing against those guys twice a year, John W. North, when they had this guy that played in
Malcolm Lee.
Malcolm Lee.
Yeah, Malcolm Lee.
I mean, we had 3 NBA players. We had, I think, 8 or 9 Division I starters come from that league in that 1 year.
Was Kawhi almost like lost amongst all these other stars, or
Kawhi wasn't lost? He was more of a, he wasn't a great scorer, but he was always been a really good defender. He stretches the floor because he can shoot a little bit, but he never really demanded the ball like these other guys. But he was always the best defender on the floor, best rebounder on the floor, and strength-wise, he was just stronger than any high school kid I had seen. But everybody.
So you called Fisher?
I called Fisher the night we played him at our place. I called him that night and said, "This guy is. You need to come out and see him." I believe he called Coach Sweeney that night, and they were in touch. There can be kind of sketchy circumstances. You can't talk to players, but you can talk to coaches.
It's hard to do that.
Yeah, and I did the same thing with Marcus Slaughter. Marcus Slaughter was not recruited, and now he's playing over in Europe and has been a European champion the last 2 years. He also played for the Chicago Bulls, and these are 2 guys that in Riverside you would think they would get recruited early, but they just weren't. And it helps that I'm able to call Coach Dutcher, who's the assistant at San Diego State, Greg Gottlieb, who's now at Oregon State, and Coach Fisher, and say, hey, come out and look at these guys. And they've been really loyal to me, and when I've given them names. There's been a couple other guys that.
Because you don't cry wolf, right? Like every single guy you see. Oh, you got to see this guy. You got to see this guy. So when you call, there's something behind it.
I'm not going to give them some, a goofball. I think they have to. For the most part, Coach Fisher has brought in good guys.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard's a great human being. When he was at San Diego State, he was an example to the other players that are actually still playing there now.
Do you remember what the conversation was like after he saw Kawhi, or maybe talked to him, and did you hear from him back? Say, wow,
Hey,
Geoff, you were right. I mean, this guy's legit.
Every time I see him. In fact, last week I saw Kawhi at camp. He was down working the Chris Paul camp down in San Diego.
Hold on.
He was there last week.
You saw Kawhi last week?
I saw Kawhi last week. Didn't say but 2 words. Said hi, coach, and but that's all you're going to get out of Kawhi.
Yeah, he's a quiet dude, right?
Real quiet guy.
We got to get him on the show. Listen,
I would love to.
You've got one job in life. That's your job.
But he would come on and he would say this.
Hey, Pep.
Hey, Pep, how you doing? But a nice guy, great with the kids. My son has gotten to know him a little bit from going to camps, and he's great with the little kids. But he's not different. He's just a very quiet individual.
Yeah,
but Coach
nothing
Fisher,
wrong with that.
No, but every time I see Coach Fisher, he's very complimentary of the Riverside area kids, the Inland Empire kids, and has always said thank you. So. I will always do my best to send him players. There's a couple guys out here now that I've called on most recently that I think can play there.
Do you have a Coach Fisher impersonation, or is that Hatch? Tim Hatch has one.
He has one. Yeah, I can't really say it on the air, but yeah. Hatch has plenty, but he's more like, he'll go up and go, "Hey, Timmy, how you doing today? It's good to see you. Make sure we don't lose any points." He's real key. We'll have 150 basketballs for 300 kids, and if Hatch loses a basketball,
and Coach Fisher knows, he'll give me 150, but he'll know if one's gone.
He knows exactly if one is gone, and he just goes nuts on Tim. I try to avoid those scenes, but Coach Fisher's one of those guys that he'll have 300 kids in camp, and he'll know every single kid that is in camp. He's there.
That's amazing.
It's awesome. I mean, he sees my son 2-3 times a year when we go to games. But when he goes to camp and he's among 300 kids, he'll go right up to my son and go, "Hey, Connor, how you doing? Did you have a good year?" Ask him how he's doing in school. And he does that to every single person he meets, which is, I think that's why he's been successful. He's been able to recruit. He's recruited some of the best players that in college basketball's had in the last 25, 30 years.
Absolutely.
His track record speaks for itself. 17 players out of one university.
The Aztecs are a basketball school now.
And I think they're going to continue. They're young, but they're going to continue to get better and better. So, I would hope in the next 10 years, he's getting a little older. I hope they can, raise the national championship or get close to it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they got the talent. Let's bring it home a little bit before we wrap this show up. We got a couple more minutes. I'm going to talk about Yancey Dodson. 3rd stint at Riverside Poly.
He is the Billy Martin of Riverside Poly High School.
Do you remember, what was his name? Wayne Fonts, the old Detroit Lions head coach?
Yes.
And I think Chris Berman used to call him Rasputin, like he just wouldn't die. He'd always just come back.
Yeah. Shoot him, burn him, kill him. He's coming back.
He's coming back.
Yep.
Yancey Dodson's back. I had a chance to interview him. Here's a quick soundbite from Yancey. It's about a minute long, so let's hear from the Riverside Poly boys basketball coach again.
One of the things that we've done really well is improved our work ethic. We're really trying to, change and establish a different culture. Not that it was bad before, but one in which hard work and playing together. I think they showed flashes of it, but I think we're doing that a lot more consistently from where we started and where we are now. I like what we're doing. I like the direction we're headed. So I would say those two things, our work ethic and our unity. Exactly. I started coaching here in '90, which is 25 years ago. It'll be my 3rd time around. Hopefully 3rd time's the charm. And I'm happy to be at a place that I'm very familiar with, and they're very familiar with me, and everyone's excited as well.
Geoff Gorham, your take. Super good, dude. I love Yancey. Back for a 3rd time.
Billy Martin of Riverside Poly. I grew up with Yancey, went into the same elementary school, same high school, played Little League baseball together, high school basketball together. He has been really the pillar at some of the best schools in Southern California, Glendora, Rancho Verde,
yeah.
King, and Riverside Poly. He will do a good job anywhere he goes, just because of the system he runs. He's a no-nonsense guy. The kids will react and respond to him better than most coaches. So I always looked up to him as, when I was a young baseball player, he was our pitcher, and I always looked up to him as kind of our team leader. And I was a young guy playing up with older guys, and Yancey and his whole family has always been complimentary to my family, and I think he's going to do a great job.
Yancey Dodson, the new head boys basketball coach at Riverside Poly, caught up with him at the Bears Summer League. They were taking on Cajon, and it was kind of cool to catch up with him. And I'm sure he'll do great things. We love Yancey here on the show. He's going to be here in the studio. We're going to try to get him in soon. He's always, every weekend, I mean, you guys are always on the run, you basketball coach. It's hard to nail you guys down because you're always this tournament, that camp, this thing going on.
Yep. You're playing, you play 35, 40 games a summer. It's taxing.
Stay busy.
Yeah, very, very busy.
Well, the show's brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona and also Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change in Riverside. We appreciate their support. For world famous intern Angel, you did it again, brother. Good show. Geoff Gorham, you were amazing as usual. I mean, we didn't expect anything less. You were great.
Then I overdid myself.
Did you overdid it? There we go. And of course, Greg Yelate, I'm Pep Fernandez, and we will hear you and see you if you're watching us live and amplified on the Inland Sports YouTube channel, brand new. And if you see my old one out in space, give it back to me.
Grab it.
I'd love to hear about it.
There's a reward.
951.
Yeah, there you go. I'm Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next time on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.